Hey everyone. Today we're going to dive into the world around us and decode one of its most powerful systems, nature's color palettes. We're going to explore how we can actually translate this, fundamental design language into our own creative work.
I mean, think about it for a second. You felt it, right? That sense of calm you get watching a deep blue sunset, or that feeling of just belonging when you're surrounded by the endless greens of an ancient forest. It's this powerful, almost magnetic connection.
So here's the big question. Are these feelings just a coincidence? A random splash of pigments here and there? Or is there something deeper going on? Today, we're going to dig into this idea that our planet is actually communicating through color, giving us a kind of source code that we can all learn how to read. Okay, so first up, let's look past the sheer beauty for a minute and try to understand the why, the scientific systems that are actually conducting this symphony of color that we see every single day. And look, this isn't some kind of magic, right? It's all grounded in reality. It's the beautiful physics of light interacting with pigments like chlorophyll, the stuff that paints our landscapes green, or the incredible microscopic structures on a butterfly's wing that can bend light into these shimmering iridescent blues and purples. It's just amazing. One of the biggest systems controlling color on our planet is simply time. Our planet's journey around the sun creates this predictable and, frankly, gorgeous global color shift we call the seasons. And it all hinges on this one single number, 23.5 degrees. That's the tilt of our planet's axis, and it's basically the giant cosmic clock that dictates everything. As we swing around the sun, that tilt changes how much light hits different parts of the world, and that's what triggers all the biological shifts that paint our seasons. Which brings us to our first seasonal palette, spring. As the Earth starts to tilt back towards the sun, life just wakes up. This is the palette of new beginnings, of fresh energy. So what does that look like? Well, you get these really delicate pastels, fresh yellows, and these vibrant new greens as chlorophyll production just kicks into high gear. In the design world, this palette just screams hope, growth, and optimism. It's perfect for something like a wellness app or maybe a brand focused on education. All right, let's shift gears to summer, when the sun is just at its absolute peak. This is the season of maximum energy, and believe me, the colors are shouting it from the rooftops. Life is in full bloom. And you can see the shift right away. The greens are way deeper, more saturated. Flowers just explode in these bold reds and sunny yellows. These colors project energy, vitality, abundance. So think about travel campaigns for tropical spots or branding for a big summer music festival. It's all about that high-impact vibe. And then we have autumn. As our part of the world tilts away from the sun, photosynthesis starts to slow down. And this is where the real magic trick happens. That dominant green chlorophyll starts to break down, revealing all these other pigments that were actually there the whole time. What's revealed are carotenoids. They're the natural pigments behind those rich oranges and golden yellows. It gives us a palette that just feels like warmth, comfort, and a little bit of nostalgia. These tones are absolutely perfect for heritage brands or cozy interior design, really anything that's meant to feel grounded and rich. Finally, winter. Now, it's so easy to just write winter off as, colorless. But that's not it at all. It's a palette that's just shifted its whole expression to one of quiet resilience, stillness, and some really dramatic contrast. What you get are these stark whites against the dark silhouettes of trees or the deep, resilient greens of pine trees. The whole mood is calm, sophisticated, and minimalist. This is such a powerful palette for luxury brands or tech companies that want to project precision, or really any design that needs that feeling of quiet strength. Okay, so we've talked about the colors of time. Now let's switch gears and talk about the colors of place. Because beyond the seasons, the actual geology and climate of a location sculpts its own unique color identity. Just think about it. A forest, right? It gets a ton of rain, so it's dominated by a whole spectrum of lush greens and earthy browns. Now, contrast that with a desert, which is shaped by exposed rock and geology. What do you get? Sandy beiges and these beautiful terracotta reds from all the iron in the soil. Same thing goes for the Arctic versus the coast. The Arctic palette is all about the reflective quality of ice, so you get these icy whites and cold blues. A coastal region, on the other hand, is this perfect blend of deep oceanic blues and the warm, sandy creams of the shore. Every single place has its own color signature.
Okay, so we get the why and the where, but now for the really important part, right? The how. How do we take all this amazing insight and actually translate nature's code into designs that work, that are effective? Let's get practical. It really just boils down to a simple 3-step process. First, you extract the colors from whatever's inspiring you in nature. Second, you refine that raw palette to make sure it's balanced and usable. And third, you apply it with real intention and context. So for that first step, extracting colors, you've got a whole bunch of tools. I mean, nothing beats actually getting outside and just looking. But high-quality photos work great too. You can use digital color pickers and software, or use online generators like Adobe Color to just automatically pull a palette from an image you upload. It's super handy. Okay, step 2, refinement. And listen, this part is so important. It's not optional. Natural palettes can be really subtle, which sometimes means they have low contrast. You have to test your colors to make sure they meet accessibility guidelines. A beautiful design that some people can't even read or use, well, it isn't a good design, plain and simple. A big part of that refinement is creating a hierarchy. Think of it like casting roles in a play. Not every color can be the star. You need to pick your dominant color, that's going to be your background. Then you need secondary, supporting colors. And finally, that one small, high-impact accent color you'll use for things like buttons to really guide the user's eye. And really, this brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. The goal here isn't to just copy and paste a photo of a forest onto your website. It's about understanding the principles behind that forest's palette, the balance, the rhythm, the harmony, and capturing that essence in a way that truly connects with people on a deeper level. So I want to leave you with this one last thought. Just look outside your window, right now. What season is it? What kind of place are you in? What colors, what contrasts, and moods are unfolding right there in front of you? The inspiration is literally all around us, written in this ancient language of light and life. Maybe it's time we all became a little more fluent.